Greetings, my fellow YouTubers. This is a shot of whiskey, and it's hard to believe 18 years ago was the day that will live in infamy 2. The September 11th attacks on the World Trade Centers and the Pentagon. A little horrifying. Oh, yeah, and the one that ended up crashing in a field in Pennsylvania somewhere. So I'm sure that you guys have seen news discussions or other YouTube videos that have gone over 9/11, what's happened since, and I'm sure even coverage involving Representative Omar and her infamous quote of "Some people did something." Stupid bitch. Anyways, I wanted my video to be a little bit different, not just because I wanted to be different than most people, but because I figured it'd be the easiest way to pump out a video so that way you guys know that I'm still alive. Although with the way that these last couple of weeks have been, I'm kind of surprised I'm still alive, to be honest. Kind of in bad taste that I just made that joke. I just realized that, but I'm going to go ahead and keep it in. So what I want to do with this video, as well as encourage people to respond in the comment section more so than I usually do, because I for one like the idea of us sharing stories of how did you find out about the attacks, what were you doing, kind of thing. Just that way we can share our memories, our stories of what happened that fateful day. So obviously, since this is my channel and you're watching my video, I'll go ahead and start things off. So, I had just graduated high school. I was a member of the class of 2001, obviously. So my graduation date was in June. I don't remember exactly what day it was. It was like the 20th or the 22nd or some crap like that. At the time, I did not have a job. I still lived with my mom. Did not go to school yet, to college. My mom had a job of, what was it like? It was like a medical taxi service or some crap like that. I don't remember. My sisters, if I recall correctly, they had just gone to school. I was still in bed. I was asleep, and my plan for the day was pretty much what I had been doing up to that point, and that was looking for a job. Mom had woken me up, and she made it sound like it was some horrendous emergency. I mean, honestly, I was expecting her to say something along the lines of a family member was in the hospital for reasons unknown, which wasn't too far off, I guess you could say, even though I know nobody in New York. So when I came out, she showed me what was going on the TV. Because of what was going on, and I was still kind of a little groggy, trying to pull my head out of the clouds, I thought it was some sort of a crappy-ass movie that was being shown during the daytime. And so I was like, why am I watching this? What the hell's going on? Oh, wait a second. That's the news logo for one of our local news stations. Is this actually happening? What the hell's going on? Now, at the time, only one tower was struck. I didn't see the first one happen, but it was live footage, and my mom's kind of explaining to me that this is actually going on. And she was wanting me to watch the news to take notes because she still had to go to work. So I did. I literally spent just about the entire day watching the television. I watched the second tower get hit during the whole live news stuff. I watched the towers come down. I was following as much news stories as I could, trying to get as much information as to what was going on. I'm trying to remember if it was that same day or the following day when I saw all these groups of people from other countries coming over to help to try to clean up the mess, to find bodies and all that kind of stuff. It was either the day of or the day after. I don't remember which one it was. Might have even been a couple of days afterwards. But I was inspired to write a poem that, unfortunately, I've lost all record of it to my knowledge. I mean, I'm sure that it's somewhere if I dug hard enough, but to my knowledge, I've lost all record of it. But it was a poem that was commemorating the people who were there cleaning up, trying to save lives and whatnot. Not so much about the attack itself, but the aftermath. I actually won an award for it too, so which I actually have the trophy. I'm actually looking at the trophy right now. I did not take care of that thing. That thing is ugly. But anyways, I was, there was a part of me that had some ideas as to who the culprits were. I mean, obviously, I didn't think of specifically Al Qaeda or Osama bin Laden. There was a part of me that thought that maybe was some sort of an Islamic terrorist attack. And I think part of it may have had something to do with things that people were saying. I don't really remember, but something made me think that. I also thought that it could very well have been the Russians or the Chinese trying to start World War III. There was also a part of me that was wondering, well, maybe it was just simply a case of a whole bunch of pilots having too much to drink. I don't know. But, you know, obviously there was stuff that was coming out during this time that was proving me wrong. But, so yeah, for me, a lot of it was the fact that I was trying to gather up information, not just for my own personal understanding, but also trying to help my mother and my sisters trying to gather information as well. I mean, my sisters were probably going to be okay. One of them was a sophomore in high school at the time. The other one was, let's see, let me do the math, 7th grade. So I'm pretty sure they were getting up-to-date information. I know that many schools across the country were not doing their normal class routines and were just showing news footage the whole freaking day. So however much my sisters got, boom, there you go. But, you know, I was still trying to watch what I could. I think I actually watched a little bit of CNN too. I usually don't like watching CNN. I've never been a fan of them before. In fact, I've said this before, not on this channel, but in various places online, that I believed that CNN was fake news before I even knew who Donald Trump was. I never really cared that much for the reporting. The only time I ever really made an exception for that in terms of their actual news was 9/11. But then again, a lot of what they were saying was the same stuff you would have heard on MSNBC, the same stuff you would have heard on Fox, the same stuff you would have heard on just about any news channel that was available at the time. So it's not exactly like I was getting conflicting reports right then and there, but a lot of it was because nobody knew what the hell was going on. A lot of it was speculation and whatnot. But, yeah, I wasn't really planning on this being about 5.5 minutes long of story, but there you go. That's basically what my experience it was. I wasn't even awake when the first tower struck. I guess you could put in that to living on the West Coast. But, yeah, and when I saw it, I honest to God thought that I was watching a lame movie when I first was watching the news. I thought it was a crappy movie, to be entirely honest, until I realized that, hey, this is one of the local branches of news. This isn't something that was made up for the sake of a movie. At least I didn't really think so. I mean, why the hell would a movie choose to focus on Portland when the attack is in New York? Wouldn't make sense to me, in my personal opinion. But, so yeah, I mean, it definitely gave me a very strong sense of patriotism, which I already had a sense of patriotism. I was looking to join some branch of the military when I was in high school. I did it mostly because of sports injuries. I didn't think that I would survive boot camp, to be honest. And plus, both of my grandfathers served in the Navy, so there was a part of me that was like, well, on both sides of the family, nobody has served in the military since my grandparents, so maybe I should bring that tradition back. I was genuinely thinking this, and seeing these attacks, learning more about what was going on, I was thinking, you know, a part of me wishes that I had joined, and a part of me is glad that I didn't. So, anyways, I'm gonna go ahead. Oh wow, I just realized how much that spiked. Yeah, I'm looking at Audacity while I'm making this recording. I've got no script plan, nothing. Oh yeah, sorry, I was trying to close. So go ahead and leave a comment, sharing your story. Hopefully yours won't be as ridiculously long and winded as mine is. And in the meantime, take care, everybody, and I'm hoping to have another video coming out before the weekend. I've been working on some plans for something, so have a good one. Bye.